Good
Hey,
morning.
good morning, Ramanjeet. How are you?
Oh, good to hear. Am I unmuted or muted?
I'm sorry?
You can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh,
How are you today?
good. Thank you. How are you
Good.
doing?
Well, thank you for joining.
You're very welcome.
Looks like everyone else is trying to join here too. They should be with us in just a second.
I think I'm the first one today.
I'm sorry?
I'm the first one today.
Yes, you are. You're the winner.
Yeah.
Well, how have things been for you?
They're okay right now. I'm just not aggressively doing anything yet.
Right.
Just
That
taking
makes
it easy.
sense.
Because I still need to have a mentor and all that because I'm so new.
Yeah, it's an interesting time for sure right now.
And I'm learning every day. So that's why.
That's good. If you ever
Getting
have any
ready
questions,
when
you know,
the market comes in. Yeah.
Good. Hey, good morning, Michelle. Thanks for joining us. Good morning, Michelle.
Morning. How are you?
Doing well, and you?
Good.
Good. Thanks for joining. How's everything going for you?
Well,
Good. Okay.
Hey, Robert, Rob, you can see my name, right? When I
Yes, I
log
can see your name.
Okay. No, I didn't type it anywhere.
It should show like in the little preview or what they call the gallery view where you can see all the people on the call.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And ask a question. This is a live class, so you can ask as many questions as you like.
Multitasking.
When it speaks a lot, I may have to ask that. As far as breaks, we will take a 10-minute break each hour as normal. If you're not in front of your camera, we did left the room, so to speak, as if you were in a live classroom setting, get up and left. There's a very, very small window of allowing someone to receive and get their CE hours, even though they were in the room.
I may not be able to participate today. So, because they're doing a CE class and I have to be visible throughout the whole thing. So,
Stay plugged in to us. You're not supposed to be working on any other items on your computer.
I can't hear you.
And again, these are a lot of fun.
Sorry about that. That's
Okay,
totally fine. I'm recording this anyway, so we'll post it to our Facebook group later on today. It just usually takes it a while to actually post in there.
Okay, very good. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Good morning, Margot. She's joining us too.
I'm going to mute myself, Rob, okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
Morning, troops.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good, and you?
Doing good, thanks. We got Ramanjeet and Margot on here. Michelle was just on, but I guess there was a CE course as well that she needed to get done. So I'm going to post this later on in the group for her.
Okay. Good morning, Ramanjeet. Good morning, Margot. It's Donna. Rob,
Hi,
can you?
Donna. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you.
See you too. I'm sitting on my kitchen island. I'm sitting on my kitchen island.
Perfect. So, Ramanjeet, you'll like this. Today's question that Joe had was, what do you imagine is your ideal work environment? And I thought of you as you were sorting papers and figuring out what's coming. It's really, what do you imagine is the optimal work environment for this stage of my career?
Got it. Okay. I will put my thoughts into it.
I thought, what a great question for this stage in all of our lives, given COVID, and how many people who've never worked from home have experienced working from home now, and what they like and what they don't like about it.
I think that's a good question. Very insightful to think of.
And then there are 17 questions that follow that about that one thought.
Nice.
I could see that. Looks
What we
like
come up are different than what we think.
we're getting people on here.
Oh, just the 4 of us today?
So it looks like Carrie's joining right now, and then Kay and Virgil are joining. They're just
Hi, Carrie.
they're
Hi,
syncing up right now.
Virgil.
Hey, Carrie.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi,
Kay.
Kate. Hi, Carrie.
Hey,
Awesome.
No,
Thank you guys for joining us.
me? Yeah, maybe. Wait a minute.
There you are.
Okay. Gary,
Great.
Gary, I want to see those muscles that you've got after hauling all that road for the past 6 weeks.
My butt really hurts right now. Wheelbarrow. My butt hurts so bad. From on the wheelbarrow into the backyard.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
Your gluteus maximus.
that's right.
So when you're all done, are you going to flip that house?
Probably. It'll just take a while. I gotta do the whole inside.
Ooh.
Big project. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Hey guys, there's Norma. Just 1 second. I'm gonna take that call. See if she just is trying to join. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, Virgil and Kay, how are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can see you and hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm doing
Carrie.
fine. I have a little tiny picture up there.
Oh, are you on
I-
your phone or what?
No, I'm on Verge's computer, and I'm not real used to it. So I was,
can't- Picture real big. If you did it big, you'd see all of us.
yeah.
My new laptop is coming
Yep.
Thursday, and this is working good too now.
There's the
Like-
gallery view. Okay.
Yep.
Now I can see everybody.
Good. Good. Well, if your computer's coming Thursday, Ramanji, I can see you and hear you just fine on this one. Can you hear
Yeah,
us?
we are surprised, and it's not making any sound or anything. I don't know what has happened, and it just made us spend $700-800.
It's
It's
only
okay. I think I'm ready for the new lightweight and everything.
Mhm. What computer did you get?
It's Apple, same, like lighter weight, 15.6-inch screen, and I think 79 core inside. Processor,
Nice.
17.
Who else here uses an Apple?
Everybody is using it.
Apple computer, you mean?
Mhm.
Apple computer?
Yes.
We have HPs. And then I have a little Acer desktop too, or I have a desktop that's HP and a laptop that's an Acer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm an HP also.
And Carrie?
Yeah, HP laptop.
Okay.
Yeah,
Rob says,
the one I have here is this is HP. I think my new one is HP too. I don't know. The big one is Apple. The one we have it's huge, 19, I think 24-inch screen. It's huge.
nice.
Stationary.
Looks like Eric's trying to join us. That's awesome. We haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah, I
And
was
Mark-
thinking about him the other day. I said Eric has not come on the screen.
Marco, are we going to see your face today or just your name?
So, yeah,
Yep, what?
Oh, there she is.
ta-da.
Hi,
Well,
Eric.
I hate it because I like to watch it on the big screen, but then it's always just looking at the side of my face. So it's like, okay. It's like,
Margot, you look like you're in the stars.
I know I gotta change. I have weekly Zoom meetings with my friends and my people. So yeah, I was messing with them the other day and changing my screen. Except for now, I don't remember how to do that.
Well, Eric's good at it. He could probably tell you.
Yeah, I usually figure it out eventually.
I've always had trouble with that, with with a special background. I never can get it to work.
What Rob shared with us before is that if we get a green screen, then we can do it.
Well, this is without a green screen.
You're doing pretty well.
Yeah, but seems like I was able to change it easier my last week.
See, Rob has a green screen, so his background is always clear, whereas if we don't have a green screen, we have a background, what I understand is when we move around, part of our bodies fade in and out, like what Margos is doing from time to time. And Rob is shaking his hand, shaking his head, yes. He's trying to be on 2 calls at one time. Oh, Rob.
Hey guys, sorry, I'm just trying to get Norma on. She's clicking the link, but she's not able to join. It just puts her like in a chat room all on her own. Has anybody ever had that happen to them before?
Nope.
Interesting.
No.
Maybe she could go out and come back.
Maybe she needed to click on the one above, because I think actually that happened to me one time.
Margot's saying that she thinks it's happened to her before. Margot, what did you say that you did to fix that?
You know, click on the link up top where, what does it say? I'm trying to go back. When you go into the Zoom link, then, you know, down below it'll say, if nothing pops up, click here, but you should open it up where it
Download
says
and run
Open
Zoom.
Zoom Meeting on top, where it says Open Zoom Meeting.
So, no, but we want you to be on it too. So thank you, Margot. So can you see yourself right now? Like, is it on the launch screen? Okay, that's strange. Let's see. So it's not on the launch screen for you. You can see yourself, so you're in an active room. Yeah, I'm not, you know what I'm doing? I'm recording this, so I can post it to the group later, and then you and I could do a Zoom call on our own, because I wanted to follow up with you on that lead anyway, because she didn't call me back after she got back from Walmart. Does that work for you? Okay, that sounds good. Thanks, Norma. Bye. No, thank you. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that, guys. She wasn't able to seem to get her computer to work for it. So I guess that's a learning curve for us there. Just like we were talking about working from home.
Yeah, when you do talk with her, ask her if she has the latest version of Zoom, because I know that they did some updates last week that threw off one of the meetings I was in.
That's a really good point. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. So today I thought we would go over the playbook, but I wanted to see how everyone's week was going, see if anybody had any questions or anything like that, issues that they've run into, or just any gripes that they want to talk about, so that way we can always find a resolution for you guys if you had any issues. Did anybody have any issues or anything that they want to talk about that they feel like went well?
Yeah, I can't get my hair cut till next week. So it's ugly, ugly.
I actually thought it looked really nice. I was going to compliment and say,
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
did
really?
you change your hair?
That's how blurry this screen is.
That's the physio.
Well, Eric looks like he has a new haircut. Did you get a cut, Eric?
No, I
Oh,
need
wow.
a cut. And I have my buyers that canceled a contract when we were in escrow in March. We got them under contract, and we're going through the venture. And it's sticking.
Great.
300,000. Yeah,
Anybody
2.5
have a
to
good contact in
2.5.
Pine?
At least it's something.
Sorry, Carrie, what did you say?
Does anybody have a good HomeSmart contact in Pine? I'm finding a lot of houses aren't listed on our MLS, and obviously don't have access to their MLS.
I don't have a HomeSmart agent, but I do know that there's one agent that's been working that market for probably 50 years. So there's one
Okay.
name that has most of the listings, and I don't know what that name is, but you could find that out easily enough, I would think, and contact that person.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to
Thank
use a HomeSmart agent for referrals, but I mean, it's
No,
nice.
I know, but I'd rather
Yeah, in fact, I think the agent that is the Home Smart agent up there actually lives in Pine Top.
Oh, okay. Cool, thank you.
I will say I lost a referral one time because I sent the referral to her and she didn't get back with my client quickly enough. My client went out and found someone else. Just saying. Yeah, pay
Okay.
attention.
Thank you.
Just wanted to share with everyone that be aware that appraisals are coming in lower than, this has happened again now 2 times in a row for us, once with the buyer, once with the seller in different areas of town. And appraisals are coming in lower, FYI. Oh, and last thing, HomeSmart has said that, HomeSmart corporate said, oh, signed in another device. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, because on my screen it says signed out. You've been signed out because you're currently signed in on another device. So I'm going to press OK. If I get booted out, I'll come back in.
Okay.
This is very strange. Now I have the sign-in screen. I'm going to just exit.
Okay.
I've got to leave the meeting apparently and come back in. But HomeSmart said that they're expecting far fewer actual closings during the month of May, which of course is 6 weeks preceding that is all COVID. So they are also seeing it on the books. I'll leave the meeting and come back. And now
Yeah,
it says John.
I've got a video that talks about, that has the data from the MLS that I compiled. And the months of supply of inventory from the end of March went from 124 to 1.96.
Say that
We
again.
had 1,700 less closings in the end of April versus March. But the number of listings seems to be steady. It's only at 13.5 as of yesterday. So we haven't gone over 14,000. So who knows where it's going to go in June and July.
Well, I think it'd be interesting to see with the forbearance and how many people actually decide to bail on their homes or stick it out. What we've seen in the data is that more than 50% of people have great equity in their homes. So it's not like it was 2006, 7, and 8. So, you know, all indicators with the Cromford report are that we're still moving forward. Demand is high and supply is low.
Right.
So I think only these appraisers are getting concerned.
And most companies, you guys, if you do have an appraisal that comes in low, if your buyer wants to dispute that, like if the seller's not willing to negotiate or anything there, they have that right to do so, to file what's known as a rebuttal. You guys would have to come up with comps to be able to send to the lender. They should have a rebuttal process where it can then go back to the appraiser. So it's not always a win, but it's kind of like a last ditch effort for you. What we have is the rebuttal, and then if that still doesn't come back favorable, we can do what's known as a field review, where the appraiser's peers review their appraisal as well. And so it's basically like getting a second opinion on the comps, but then they also have their own way of digitally looking at other comps that are available in those areas to support the value. So they'll look at the purchase price, and they'll look at what the appraiser did and decide what they think that value actually is. So there's definitely tools there for you. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. And further to that, I just wanted to share with everyone that the first one, we were successful in that, and the second one, we're in process with that. And both times the appraisers were given a package of all the comps and an extensive package. This one, what nipped us in the butt on this one, we were going with a comp at 325, and it actually closed recently at 310, plus they gave $5,000 back. So that kind of blew us out of the water. But I wanted to ask is, the actual appraiser came to the lender and said, hey, I'm going to invoke Tidewater. We didn't know that appraisers actually invoke Tidewater. Rob, could you speak to that?
So I've never actually ran into that before. Usually when Tidewater is invoked, it's only on a VA loan, and where basically it's a formal dispute. Was it a VA loan, Donna?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they I'm trying to think of maybe what happened behind the scenes in order for that to get to that point, because usually the buyer has to request that the lender invoke Tidewater on the appraiser. And basically all that means is that we are rebutting that appraisal process there as far as what the value is. And then with that, we get comps from you guys to support that and basically dispute it with the appraiser is how that process goes. Now, when that does happen, it can take a very long time because it's with the VA, but it's always worth at least trying to see what you can do on that, depending on what your timeline is.
Okay, well, I will keep you posted on what happens with this one.
Yeah, that's really interesting. How short did you say it was?
We don't know because the appraiser is the one who called the lender and said, I'm going to be invoking Tidewater on this.
Gotcha.
So he didn't even finish his appraisal. He just let us know it's coming in short. And we're all going, well, by how much? And he won't tell us that, but he hasn't finished his appraisal and submitted it. He wants all the information up front, yet all that information was given to him before he did his appraisal. So both agents are going and redoing all kinds of stuff, and we'll see what he comes back with.
I'm sorry to hear that. That's kind of a headache.
Oh, yes, yeah. But that's, we're all kind of, many agents are moving into that direction because we're experiencing it and we're hearing it from other Home Smart agents that they're also experiencing lower appraisals. So just a heads up for everyone.
Thank you. And then it looks like, Eric, you sent us a link for YouTube.
Yeah, it's 11.5-minute video, and it has a very good PowerPoint comparing our first full COVID-19 month of real estate, April versus March.
Okay, it looks like it says YouTube, youtu.be for YouTube. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the YouTube link directly.
Okay, and how do what you just posted, how do I copy that? Or
Oh, you can just copy the link and then put it in your email.
okay,
You should be able to highlight it.
Yeah. Hello, I am Eric Merritt from Home.
All righty.
Great. But yes, Donna, you are right. Houses have a ton of value. I had a client that we are helping them out on a refinance. She got furloughed, but we were able to still refinance the house just using the husband's income. And they didn't realize how much equity they had. So we paid off the rest of their debt using a cash out refinance. So it saves them about $800 a month, and their mortgage payment is going down about $150 a month from where it was. So if you guys have people that are panicking or anything like that, that's just something that you can kind of put the word out there, like Donna was just saying with equity, to try and just calm the masses, because there's a lot of options that are still out there, and we are definitely in a much better position than the last time that was a recession, like Donna was saying. So hope that helps.
Okay, Rob, just so you know, I don't know if you can still see me, but I cannot see anyone.
You can't see anyone?
I cannot see anyone. All I see is the Zoom meeting screen. So I'm going to hop back in again under my name, because for whatever reason, what you're looking
at. Down in your taskbar at the bottom of your screen, you see the little blue, click on it down on your taskbar, because I just did the same thing, and I think you're doing what I did, because you switched over to YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, so down the very bottom of on your taskbar, you should see a blue video recorder. If you click on that, the screen should come back.
Okay, I don't see that. All I keep doing is touching the screen and I see nothing.
Oh, okay.
So let me get out and I'll get back in. Go ahead, guys. Thanks so much for your patience.
Okay, guys. Well, then we'll go ahead and get started with the playbook. I've sent that PDF to everyone, and I can also just drop it here so that way you guys have it. And then we'll just get started. And no one has any other questions right now, right? I just want to make sure that I'm not accidentally overlooking anyone or anything like that. All right, great. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate it. Here is the playbook coming at you. What we're going to talk about today is the main focus is basically just still staying current and present. So that way, during all this, while we're working from home and things of that nature, we're still able to be out there and marketing ourselves and providing value. So it's going to kind of piggyback or run along the same line of stuff that we've talked about before with social media, using the internet and things of that nature. But I really think it'll help us continue to keep bringing that theme through to see how we can actually use these tools. And there's Donna. Donna, it looks like you got back in already.
Yeah, is my name under John England or my name?
It's John.
I don't know why.
You're on camera.
Hello.
Cool. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. So this is in PDF. If anyone wants the actual hard copy, before my FedEx label printer was down, but it's back up and running again, I got a new one. So if you guys just want to email me your home address, I'd be happy to drop this in the mail for you too. So we're just going to go through the contents of it, see what you guys pick out of it. The inspiration is always nice to read through, but that's not really something to talk about right now for us. Pop-by ideas, I think that that's nice that they have those, but at the same time, like we said before, it doesn't really make sense to be just dropping by people's houses right now with all of this. So we're just going to keep moving on to things that I think are nice, which is the tips and tricks section. With that, it's important right now, especially to kind of go over what is working for you and what's not working for you, and just kind of cut the stuff out that's not working for you and play to your strengths is really what this is talking about. So if you just made a list of all the categories of the ways that you get business or the areas that you get business from, and then really just start creating strengths and weaknesses on that as far as what's going good on it, what's going bad, and then just deciding if there's anything that you can cut. That way, during times like this, you're not taking too much time on rounding out those edges. Instead, you're playing to your strengths. So here's a nice list for you to get started with. This is just some ideas on how to recession-proof your business. Trimming your budget. There's a great tool at the end of this that I'll show you guys. It's kind of like a robot. It's called a bot. It's a plugin for your internet and things of that nature, where it'll actually go through and kind of scrub your recurring transactions and let you know what you have available that you might be able to cut, because there's so many different services out there that charge $10 a month or $14 a month, where you might not notice it constantly coming out, but those definitely add up pretty quickly. You can also try and negotiate like your phone bill, cable company, anything like that. This is a good time to start considering your emergency savings if you have one, and if you haven't considered that yet. With business slowing down, it's a good idea to start using that to invest in getting ways to create more business for yourself and things of that nature. And during this time, like Donna said at the beginning of this meeting, kind of with the theme on focusing or questioning yourself on what the ideal work environment is, to me, is deciding what you want your life to be like with this career, because it takes up so much time and we love it, but this is an opportunity for us to recreate how we want things to be. Does anybody have ideas or comments on how they'd like their career to look? Or Donna, what was the specific question that you had told Ramajit and I?
Yeah, the specific question is, what do I imagine is the optimal work environment for this stage of my career?
I love that. I think that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody have any thoughts on that?
Oh, I have an hour's worth of thoughts on that. It took us an hour to get through that.
Well,
Not simple.
No, it's not. Here is the tool that I was telling you guys about, and you can read up on this. The one I like is called Trim.
Yeah, I like Truebill.
I haven't used Truebill. I've only used Trim. That's cool. I'm glad to hear that you've used it though and you like it. But these programs, make it easy for you to track and see what is available for you to cut down on. Previously, we've talked quite a bit about virtual showings and trying getting to that point. Here's a good checklist that other agents are using to make sure that they have everything in order and that they're being consistent.
I have a question on that for everyone. Anyone who's out there showing homes, whether you're listing or showing, have any of you done a virtual showing yet?
No.
Well, I just kind of FaceTimed with somebody on, with through Facebook and just walked around and so yeah, I did it.
How'd that work for you, Margot? What'd you think of it?
It was good. They seemed to be okay with it. So
Okay.
It wasn't, they'll kind of tell you to stop. Wait, go back over there, kind of thing. So it was okay.
Did they want to go and see the house in person?
Well, they were in another state, so
Okay.
we're still in that stuck.
Now, I have a listing and I have not had any agent ask me to do a virtual showing. I also have a video up for it and lots of pictures, yet every agent is still acting as if they did before, where they're still taking clients out to every home. I found that really interesting.
When you did your virtual showing, did you do the one where it has the little dots in all the rooms that you progress through? And you can, it's like you're walking through the house?
Yeah, I did not personally do that one. I did a video that's about 2 minutes and something that I thought gave them a full feel of the house.
Okay.
That's I think Matterport, and
Yeah.
I don't use Matterport. I know many people do and love it. I personally can't stand it.
I don't like it either.
So I don't do it on my listing. But I was thinking more about, the live virtual tour of a home where a seller will take them through the house. Like you do a Zoom call with 4 of you, right? The buyer's agent, listing agent, seller, and the buyer. And the seller actually takes them through the house where it's live. And I know the HomeSmart was talking about that a lot, but I haven't experienced that yet. And I have not been asked for that yet. I was curious about your experience.
I take that back. I did not do that.
Well,
I think
the
that's
way
interesting.
also another way to do it. So I guess the industry isn't changing as much as I was thinking it was going to in the first part of COVID.
Right. We'll see in the second wave.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe then it will change. I have clients who just don't trust it. I think they just want to see the house. I don't know. I do a lot of agent previews because I'm looking at the ceiling. I'm looking at the, slope of the backyard, that kind of stuff that you can't really see in the pictures, right? Like, how many times do we take pictures and leave off the crappy crap stuff, right? So, I don't know. I feel like a live one, I can't really see, because it's like this, right? It's blurry and it jumps and it's not perfect video. That's why I kind of like that Matterport thing, because I feel like I'm actually walking through the house. Right. I can look up and I can look down. I don't know.
I definitely think that's fair, Carrie. I think that the demographic of the clientele that you're showing the house is going to play into that as well a lot. I've had several buyers before COVID, just being out of state, like what Margot was saying, have agents just show them the house on FaceTime and they'll just buy it because the market's hot or because they just don't want to have to deal with the back and forth. And the house at that point, because they're buying like an entry-level home or like maybe the second house that they just know that they'll be in there for 3 to 5 years. So basically they kind of feel like a house is a house to them if they've done the research and the agent has provided the data for them on the neighborhood as far as safety and convenience and all that kind of thing. Where some people really could love it and then others I could see not trusting it. I could kind of go back and forth myself. Has anybody had clients that are more comfortable with that by chance? Or talked about that? Or can you guys think of anyone that maybe would be more comfortable with that?
Well, my thought about the videos and stuff is I don't think you're ever going to replace the actual walkthrough of the house because
Right.
people have cats, dogs, smoke smells, and you can't smell those on the phone. You can't smell them on the video. How would you like to buy a $500,000 house and get there and somebody try to cover up the smoke smell or cats or dogs or birds or whatever animals they have in there? I don't think video's ever going to replace that. My thought.
That's certainly a fair thought.
Yeah, I
think
did
that's a
go
really
to
good
a
point.
listing last week. It was for a rental, and oh my gosh, we opened the door and it was like, poof.
Yeah.
The dog smell was overwhelming. Like, and I don't have a good nose, so I don't smell stuff much. But wow, it was like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't get that on video. It looked good.
The houses always look good, and then you go in them, and we were showing a couple, and Virgin, the wife, had to leave because the smoke was so bad, and my husband and I stayed and toured the house. So, you know, it's like you just, you know, you can't cover up smells.
That's fair. Well, okay. Thank you guys for your thoughts on that. I think it's all good food for thought. Here's some free resources that you guys can provide, just to put it out there on social media or things like that. What I like about the PDF is you can literally just copy and paste it right onto your Facebook or anything like that. So that way you're able to start providing posts. For these sort of posts, I would encourage you to post more on Facebook than on Instagram, or really Facebook more than YouTube as well, unless you wanted to go down this list and talk about them and then have the links down in the comment section. But we got tons of info for kids under 5, kindergarten to middle school, high school, and older, all ages. So that way you can really just, it's another way to be out there providing something for people, and it's something that you're providing of value. You're not just saying, hey guys, look at me, and it's a chance to get out there and start a conversation. So let's see, we talked about that. Carrie, here's kind of what they're talking about too with a different type of tool. Have you guys ran into this before or seen it? Okay. This is another one where it's allowing people to have like a 3D home tour like you're talking about, but it's supposed to be cheaper than Matterport and you're able to use your phone. So I've seen this, I've gotten targeted ads for it and things like that. I wasn't sure if anybody in the group had actually used it, but it looks interesting to me. Something to consider.
My professional photographer is doing that.
What's that, Eric? I'm sorry?
My professional photographer, she's making 3D tours.
That's nice.
So
then you don't even have to worry about it.
So I put it in my marketing, showing, hey, if you want to list your home, then we can do 3D tours, and that way we can make sure that when the people actually do come to your home, they're more likely to write an offer.
That makes perfect sense. And then Anthony joined the call too, you guys, so I wasn't sure if you saw that. Hey, Anthony, thanks for joining us.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Anthony.
Hey, Anthony.
So after that, the next 90 days, I know that we've talked about that concept in another mastermind that we had. This one's a little different though, and basically just dealing with all the changes. Donna, I think you'll like this first part where it's talking about not your literal medication, but doing the things for yourself that's going to pour into you. So starting your mornings off with meditation, exercise, making sure that your diet's good, that you are getting good quality sleep. That way you can be at your best to perform well for business and stay healthy. Does anybody have a type of morning routine they want to talk about?
I want to start cold calling people, but I don't know what script to say with this COVID-19 going on.
Right, that's fair.
'Cause
Second thing to do is just make
all
sure,
my normal ways of lead generation are out the window. I can't door knock, I can't do open houses.
right? It's been very, very interesting.
I did do an EDDM of all of Mountain Bridge. The first order, I screwed it up and it was 100 flyer paper, and you can't do EDDM on 100 flyer paper. It has to be on cardstock. So First American Title gave me a $500 credit because I did screw up. So I had to pay another $428 to get it, and then we bundled them at 100 like you do on EDDM. And then I got it to the post office Monday, and I got mine in the mail myself yesterday. Which is right here.
Nice.
That looks nice.
You open it up, and it has UV coating on every page, all 4 pages.
Nice.
I
Okay,
hope
so
from that, Eric.
Don, I'm sorry, I think you cut out at first. What did you say?
You just said, Eric, I hope you get some business from that.
I hope so too. I spent quite a bit of money for that since I did screw up.
So the next thing is just make sure your finances are in order. You know, look over everything, scrub your expenses like we talked about, even do your own profit and loss, or talk to your CPA and financial planner. Keep your business moving forward. Like we were just talking about, trying to figure out ways to keep business coming in, or be able to talk with people and just keep engaging. And that will come. Virtual is always a big plus. Going through your pipeline of people that you had spoke with before that maybe were pre-qualified or maybe weren't pre-qualified at the time, and just calling them right now, it's a great time to start looking at your database. Do you guys keep a database, like a CRM or anything like that for your clients? Eric, I know that you do.
Yeah, I called everyone already like over a month ago.
Yeah.
It took 2 weeks to call everybody, all the home sellers in my database.
Do you have their email addresses
That was
as well?
the easy part, doing the warm phone calls, doing cold calling. I just feel, I don't know. I need to come up with a script to handle people that I don't know.
That's fair. So you can, right now it's a good time to go over your skills. Like Michelle was going over a CE class, and that's why she's not with us today. Right now is a really, really good time to just really lean in and get different education or different cross training. So that way, when all this is over, you guys will be good there. Phone calls, like Eric was saying. The next thing I really thought would be useful for us is the engagement on social media. So different ways to create it. I know that we already talked about the links that you guys can post. I also think that those links are a good idea for you to be able to email over to people with your database. If you have everyone's email, you should be able to create a pretty quick and easy newsletter style based off of that content, where you could just copy and paste it for people. So
doing my kitchen remodel is definitely getting a lot of engagement.
That's great. People love to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So with right now, when you post online, you just, anytime, you always want to make sure to stay positive. Being negative on there is never going to get you any good business or any good publicity. Staying connected and just making sure that people know what's going on. Like Eric, you were saying with your staff and everything like that, I think that's a great thing to email out. It's really relevant. You can.
I'm going to put it in my constant contact campaigns this month. I have a new video finally. And I have another video that just talks about what I'm doing as a realtor handling COVID-19. I show them my N95 face mask. I show them I have disinfectant wipes. I show them I have hand sanitizer.
Everybody does.
It's a big old jug of hand sanitizer.
And the N95 mask, and then the latex gloves. I haven't actually worn them, but.
Okay.
Well, that video's 3.5 minutes. I haven't polished it yet and put it in Nanomoto to put the music in. We'll do that today.
Nice. So with that, you could email that out to people. If you guys don't have content, we have a huge library of content where we can connect you guys with that. And you can either choose to co-brand that depending on who you're marketing to or how you're marketing, or you can just market yourself. But there's a lot of really good content in there. So if you wanted to do that, you can build online communities. I've noticed that Meetup has shifted a ton from being in person to online communities where people are meeting up on Zoom calls or just posting different things and interacting with each other. So it's not all just Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. So if you wanted to approach it from a different angle, haven't really seen any realtors on there doing education about the marketplace. So that could be something that could be really, really good for you to host a webinar and post that in Meetup. Has anybody used Meetup before?
No.
Used what?
Meetup?
I
No,
have,
I haven't.
well,
You
not for
have, Terry?
business, not for business, but yeah, personal.
For like social stuff, yeah. So Meetups is kind of like a Facebook meets like, if you create a group and then you guys all meet up in person. So it is social media, but the whole purpose is to try and meet up and create legitimate relationships. But some successful things that I've seen on there, especially right now, is people are taking that and trying to create content for people that are curious about things and just hosting an online webinar or something like that to where participants can come in at a certain time and it's just announced. So that's another idea for what you could try and do there. Educating people, like we talked about, this is all just good content to be putting out there. Having a nice background when you go on Facebook or anything like that always helps. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but text posts on Facebook, like if it's an actual visual of text, that tends to get more engagement than just if you write it itself. Likewise, if you post like a meme or something like that, that's going to get more engagement and traction than just posting something that's just text. Videos, we've talked about that. So on Facebook, the engagement rate is about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. Twitter video, I don't really think that's going to be a great area to be posting video to. I think Instagram and Facebook are going to be your places. There's different cute memes that you could post. You can come up with your own with meme generator. And then here's just more content for you guys to post with theme days. So you could literally just grab the day, today's the 13th, and you could post about frog jumping. Apparently that was Mark Twain's first story. So it's not much, but that might connect with someone and it shows that you're out there. Tomorrow, you guys could all post videos of yourself dancing like a chicken. That could be fun. So these are all good ideas for you guys to post things out there without saying, hey, I'm a realtor, give me your business. That's also good to be doing, but in a mix. Here's some different ways to engage on social media. One good thing that I've seen some people do is just putting a poll on Facebook. Have you guys done a poll with people as far as what they like in houses or anything like that? So one good thing I've seen realtors do, they'll post a photo of like 2 different kitchens and then they'll post a poll of like how many people like kitchen A or how many people like kitchen B, where people just vote on it. And the engagement rate that they get on that is just crazy. You know, people comment on it, people vote. And when people do that, then you're going to keep showing up in that person's feed that voted or commented in their Facebook. So then you're able to engage with them that way as well. Then if you guys use that tool, like we've talked about previously, actually the last time we met up in person, to get your email list from Facebook, then you are able to start email marketing to them as well. So tons of good ideas there. If you guys have questions on that, just let me know. Memorial Day post. We already went over the next 90 days, so we don't have to worry about that. But if you guys have any questions about it, just let me know. Does anybody have any questions on all the stuff that we've been over? I know that we talked about a lot of content to post out there, and that's mainly what I wanted us to be able to talk on. So that way you guys have a plan for your social media, because I know what a lot of us have echoed in this group is that it's really difficult to stay in front of everyone right now when you're not able to be out there in person. I'm
Are
sorry,
you
what did
gonna
you say?
send that to us?
Yeah, so I emailed that out. I posted it in Facebook and I actually dropped it in this chat too. So if you open the chat box, you should be able to hover over it and just download it directly. And Kay, I'll make sure that you're on that email list that I sent
Yeah,
out.
'cause I don't get anything personally from you.
Let's see. Okay, I'll check on that while we're talking. Thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate it. Did anybody else not get that by chance?
Judy hasn't gotten it either.
Okay. Does anybody have any ideas or anything that they'd like help on or any questions there?
I'd like to see who wants to role play.
Who wants to role play?
Role play for cold calling sellers.
I'll role play with you.
That's a good idea.
Now, what kind of seller do you want me to be? A crabby old lady or a really nice open person?
Whatever you want.
Most of them are crabby.
Most of them
You know
are.
you're selling something, yeah. It's like, don't bother me.
Uh-huh.
Don't bother me.
I'm gonna put in my adapting to COVID-19. I just found, I wanted to make sure I put the right file in here. So I didn't put the wrong one. There. Video.
So Eric, you want to practice later or do you want to practice now?
Yeah, we can practice now, I guess.
If everybody's okay with that, because it's your
Let's do
time.
it. Absolutely.
Sure.
Go, Eric.
Okay. So I'm reading. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Eric Merritt with HomeSmart. How are you today this morning?
Hello. Hello, I don't hear anyone. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, some of them are like that. Where they try and fake you, try and make you think that they're not hearing you, but they really are.
Okay, we'll start again. I'll be nice this time.
Call her back.
Don't ever hang up on me again.
Ring, ring.
Hello, this is Donna. How can I help you?
Hi, my name is Eric Merritt, and I'm with HomeSmart Realty. How are you this morning?
I'm great, Eric. How are you?
I'm very well. Did you know that with the real estate market, actually it looks like it's going to come out better coming out on the other side of what we're dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. But yeah, I just had a question for you. Do you have any possible thoughts of selling in the next 6 months to a year?
No, but I'm glad to hear the market's going to move forward because I like where I am and I like my equity to keep going.
Yeah, overall of all of the East Valley cities, we had 18% less transactions last month versus March, but Northeast Mesa only dropped a couple $1,000s in average sales price, so that's good. But normally we don't have a drop in average sales price until we get to a 4-month supply or greater. So I think we're safe there because our number of listings are dropping back down. So that's very good news.
Okay, so what do you think that means to the market?
I think the prices are going to be stable. So, but I did show a couple homes out in Goodyear, and I wrote a home $5,000 over list, and we still didn't get it. And there were 2 other people at the same as we were.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Well,
right,
price
so
range is that?
yeah, so on the right house, people will still get, it still has a very good excellent sellers market on the right house. But now what we're seeing is all homes before COVID-19, if it was under 300,000, you pretty much had to get it for over, you had to write it for over list. But now you can get them for list, like a decent house, but not over the top with like a pool and a pergola and putting green and hot tub and remodeled kitchen and all that stuff. But if you're ever if you want some information on what I'm talking about, I can send you the PDF link if you like.
Well, no, I'm not really interested. My daughter's a realtor, and if I was going to use a realtor, I better use my daughter.
Well, that's great. I sympathize with you, and I'm sure that she would very much appreciate that.
Yes, you would. You sympathize with me?
Yes,
Why do you sympathize with me?
because you would probably not feel so good about using someone that you already know as a family member, and then you don't want to cause friction. So I get that. I've
Oh.
had people tell that to me before.
Oh, that's good comeback. Good comeback. Good. Well, hey, thanks for the call. Have a great day.
All right, thank you very much. Stay
Bye-bye.
safe.
You too.
How did I do?
You did great.
Not bad.
You kind of gave me more information. You didn't ask me any questions to know whether I was a person who really cared about what numbers and statistics were out there.
Mhm.
And perhaps you could lead with a question to say, are you interested in knowing what's going on in the market right now? And either they
Yeah,
are
that's
or not. Yeah, they either are or they're not. If they're not, because if I'm not, I'm sitting there, this is what I hear. If I'm not, I hear blah, 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 blah. And you were I was hearing you were more interested in telling me what you wanted me to hear than you were interested in me, the customer. I think you need to be interested in me, the customer first, before I'm going to hear what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And it's one
That's a
simple
common
question.
problem with my personality.
That's just one simple question.
Is it too much to
Yeah,
ask directly
knowing
what
what
people think their house is worth, or if they want to know? Like, instead of just a general, hey, do you want to know what the market's like? Would you be interested to know what your home is worth? Is that too direct, or?
No, that's fine too. I think are you interested in knowing what's happening in the real estate market? That's more of a general question. And then you get the answer, and then you could ask that question of, would you like to know what your home is worth?
Yes, because then you can lead into asking for their email address.
Right.
And then you can sign them up for HomeBot.
Boom.
I was just going to ask about that. Like, do you guys have any like social media posts to kind of push that? Because God, my friends love that thing. But so I'm wondering if I posted saying like a copy of maybe my home evaluation for the HomeBot version on and just saying, oh, cool, you know, who knew my home could get this for Airbnb kind of stuff. Do you guys have anything like that? Like, no, we're just making up.
I mean, Rob, do you know of anything? That's the one weakness of HomeBot that
Right.
the
I can
wire content.
Right. And I could try and create some. Carrie, I think specifically with what you're talking about, that'd be a great chance to post a video on social media. I know, I hate it too. Because then I'm like, oh my gosh, that's how I look and that's how I sound, and I hate it. But that is how I look and that is how I sound. So I'm trying to accept it about myself. And whenever I do it, my response rate is really good, even if it's not something that like I've prepped over and fussed over. But with HomeBot, people really love that. So if you posted something like that, there's tons of free video services out there where you can record your screen and still have your face at the same time. And that's something that people are really concerned about right now, is what their home value is, because everyone's thinking it's like the last recession, whereas right now, and one, we're not even in a recession, but then two, home values are still going up. So that's a great way for you guys to not only look like the knowledge keepers that you truly are, you're the heroes telling them, hey, actually everything's okay. Mm-hmm. So Carrie, I think that'd be a great option for you, but I can try and come up with some content for you guys to post too for HomeBot.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, when I presented HomeBot to you guys, I showed you my house, you know, and I think that sold you guys pretty well on like the actual information. So I think it would be helpful if you did that, like, hey, here's what it is for me. I think that could work too. And if Rob can show you ways to like compartmentalize certain things of those graphics, I think that would be good.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so I can work on that.
Loves it. So if I could get more people signed up on it, you know what I mean? That would be pretty ideal, because it's one of those things that you get once a month and you're like, you don't get irritated. You know what I mean? my friends open it multiple times. I mean, like you said, right? It's the click-through rate is insane. And then they forward it to people and, you know, so.
Yep.
I like it.
And you're branded on it. So it's like you're the one.
$25 a month ever. It's one of the few things I've actually bought into. Do you know what I mean? And I really, 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 really like it.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony, thanks for sparking that interest. I appreciate it. Then maybe what we can do, I can try and push out some stuff, but I think we just found next week's topic is just how everyone here could be using HomeBot on social media. And then I could like have that content ready for you guys. So that way we can talk about it and develop a plan, because even though you guys are all going to be talking about the same thing, you all have different clients and you're all different people. So it's not going to be difficult for you to differentiate yourself, and it won't feel like it's saturated.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting. So thanks, Anthony, for inspiring that.
And I think too, if social media is too big of a jump, even like finding ways where Rob can help with the graphic thing and you can email it out to your database, like, hey, this has been really helpful for me. Maybe that might be easier to do, like an easier entry level. And then, I mean, I think posting it on social media is going to be probably maybe your biggest bang for your buck, but getting it out email wise, I think would be good too.
Yeah, perfect.
Great idea. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Like I said, if anybody wants me to mail the playbooks to them, just email me your home address and I'll get those out in the mail for you.
Thank you, Rob.
See you guys next week. Donna, what did you want to say?
I was gonna say, I really like not the hard copy. I really like to have it this way. So you don't need to mail it to me. So I appreciate that. It's one more.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I would like an appointment with you to talk about my YouTube channel, to join my two channels together.
Okay, absolutely. Let's set that up. After the call, I'll connect with you and then we can just find a time. Does that work for you?
Okay, sure. I think that you're going to call Norma first, and then I have a 10:45 and an 11 till noon, and otherwise then I'm open for the day.
Okay, so you're free afternoon, right?
Afternoon.
Okay, cool. Does anybody else want help on setting up their YouTube or Instagram or anything like that?
I will, but probably next week once I have my new computer.
Okay. And if you need help with your Mac, I can show you a lot of tips and tricks.
No, actually, I just checked. Mine is HP. My son's is Apple. So yes, fine.
Gotcha. Okay.
He's a student. He needed something. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So mine is HP.
Well,
I just checked my email.
Gotcha. Well, thank you all so much. Appreciate it. If you need anything, just let me know. See you guys next week.
Thanks, Rob. Anthony,
Bye.
have a great week, guys.
Thank you.